Today we're really going to talk about rational exponents only, but I did forget to go ahead and add quotient to a power property. It's a pretty simple one that hopefully we've kind of figured out, but if I have a divided by b to the x power, then that means that a to the x power and b to the x power. So you're still distributing that exponent to everything that's in the parentheses. Okay, let's get into rational exponents. While exponents are often integers, exponents can also include rational numbers such as fractions. In A and B, apply the power of a product property to find the product, then answer the questions that follow. So I've already kind of plugged those in because we know that 1/2 times 1/2, if we're looking at power of like bases, or if you want to call it product of like bases, then we know that 1/2 times 1/2, you're adding, so that equals 1. 9 to the 1 power is 9. And same thing over here, 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So 16 to the 1 power is 16. So the question is, based on example A, what is the value of 9 to the 1/2 power? So what that's asking is, if this is 9, what does this equal? What does something times itself, because they're the same number to the same power, what is that going to equal? Well, we know that if we take the square root of 9, that's finding what times itself equals that. We know that that's 3 times 3. So we know that 9 to the 1/2 is equal to 3. Kind of the same concept over here. What times itself equals 16? Well, we know that the square root of 16 is equal to 4. So 4 is what 16 equals, or 16 to the 1/2 power equals. So based on both A and B, we can conclude that raising to the power of 1/2 is the same as taking its square root. This can be explained with the rational exponent law shown below. Use the law to rewrite each exponent in A through D in radical form and then evaluate. So if we have a to the x divided by y, what that's going to look like in exponent form or radical form is y a to the x. We take the bottom number, and that's what our root is. So if 2, then it's a square root. If it's a 3, then it's cube root, and so on and so forth. And our top number in our fraction stays as the exponent as a. So if x equals 1, then the expression is equivalent to the y root of a. The y root of a. So let's add that to our exponent rules. So if we have a to the x divided by y power, that is equivalent to the y root of a to the x. Or you could also say that if a is equal to 1 over y, then that is the y root of a. Okay, so that is all of the power or exponent properties that we have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to practice a little bit more with rational exponents, and then we'll be able to use any and all properties on any problem that we have. Okay, so we're supposed to write it in radical form, meaning with the root, and then evaluate. So if we're going to write 100 to the 1/2, that's the square root. You don't have to write the 2, but it's the 2 root or square root of 100 to the 1 power, which is also just the square root of 100, which is equal to 10, because we know that 10 times 10 is 100. Okay? So, we know that this is saying the 4th root of 81 to the 1 power, which we can put this in a calculator by doing a couple different things, but the easiest way to do this is there's a button right above the division sign that looks like the up arrow like that. It's right above the division sign. And so you could put in 81, the little, I call it caret buttons, exponent button works too. And then you could put in parentheses 1 divided by 4, because we don't actually have a way to put a specific root in the calculator. So that's going to be the easiest way. So that would be, it would look like in the calculator, like 81, the 1 divided by 4. You can also use alpha y equals when you're in the exponent to get the template of the fraction. That works too. I just personally think that this way is the easiest. So, the 4th root of 81, that means what number times itself 4 times equals 81. And one way you can kind of think about that, you can also take that as if you're of 81 equals square root of 9, and that equals, and that would be 2. So that should be 3. Also kind of do in your head if you think about it. This, we know that this is asking for the cube, and if you put that in the calculator as 2, 3 as the exponent and root number, and then squared on the inside. Find the cube root of 8 squared, or examples on this just because number 5 with you, and then a power, and we have power to a power. That would be 3, not times 4, because we have to distribute that 1/2 to both x to the 10th half. So 1/2 of 10 we know is 4 times, we can use times x to the 17th power. You don't have to work with a partner on this. You can work on it, and if you would like to work with a partner, you're more than welcome to. I am going to be done here just because I think we should be able to understand it. And most of the time we're going to be dealing with 1/2, and so that's just either square root or dividing the exponent. So that would go back to like quotient exponents. Okay, so that is our rational exponents and properties of exponents. Please note that the next time we see you, you'll have a mini quiz over the properties of exponents. So please be sure that if you have any questions, come ask before the quiz. And at this point, you can go ahead and either finish this practice document, or you can go ahead and move on to the independent activity.